Hi everyone, I'm Taylor. I'm an education student at SFU who's highly interested in mindfulness. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings through thoughts and use of therapeutic techniques. This is going to be a 10-part series where I'm going to share with you why mindfulness is important, what it is, and how to start today. Children and youth from K to 12 are going through their most formative and influential years, what we would call their key developmental window. At this time, mental health can be all over the place. This is why it's critical that we incorporate mindfulness practices early on. Teaching these mindfulness practices and knowledge helps students to increase their social-emotional awareness and have the tools to deal with their everyday stressors. In the next clip, I'll be sharing why mindfulness is so important. At this point, you're probably wondering, why is mindfulness so important? It might sound hippy-dippy or unimportant, but the truth is that mindfulness has been proven to help people improve their mental state as well as develop empathy and compassion. I think this topic is really important because it's something that's not normalized. Mindfulness takes work and it needs to become a habit. The more we bring awareness to it, the more people will see its benefits. Especially during a pandemic where there is a mental health crisis alongside a national health crisis, mindfulness is needed now more than ever. It's critical for us to teach our children and youth how to use mindfulness and equip them with these tools to help them with their daily stressors. And not only can it help students, but teachers, parents, and adults themselves. Research actually found mindfulness most useful in adults before we realized it worked with kids. Overall, mindfulness creates happier and more socially aware people. Being able to control and understand your emotions can truly change someone's life and eventually all of society. Mindfulness is a newer concept. It's not something that our parents were ever taught in school or maybe that you were ever taught in school, which makes the research really interesting. Like I've previously mentioned, mindfulness was first aimed towards adults with severe health problems. But mindfulness has gained popularity within the educational context more recently as we are seeing more benefits with introducing mindfulness to children. For children and youth, the focus of mindfulness is closely tied to social-emotional learning and awareness. Currently, there's a gap in education where school teachers are busy teaching core academics and it's hard to fit lessons on empathy, compassion, and social-emotional learning. Mindfulness fills this gap. It's not now just about incorporating it into the curriculum so that it becomes mandatory. It's not something that educators have ever known to incorporate, so we need to bring more awareness and knowledge on this subject and educate the kids so that they can educate the world. Now we're going to talk about what's happening now with mindfulness. Since more research has been done on the topic, there's been numerous programs developed to support mindfulness in the classroom. Some that I really like are called Mind Up and PBIS, the Positive Behavioral Interventions and Support Program. These are direct and impactful ways of incorporating mindfulness in the school that makes mindfulness a priority in teaching. I think that momentarily, programs are the best way to get mindfulness in school because of its accessibility to teachers and ease of implementation. The Mind Up program has recently rebranded to the Mind Up for Life and offers school-wide training to teachers and administrators to learn how to incorporate mindfulness within their school community. The Mind Up program has been shown to increase pro-social actions, decrease aggressive behaviors, and improve academic achievement, especially in math and language arts. This program is actually used in BC, and some of the teachers I interviewed even use it within their school. Moving on to the PBIS program, it's a school-wide approach founded on 4 main principles. The first being locally meaningful and culturally relevant outcomes. 2, empirically supported practices. 3, systems to support implementation. And 4, data to monitor effective and equitable implementation and to guide decision making. This program is really cool because they actually encourage the schools to set their own goals and to decide whatever they want their outcome to be, depending on their students, their achievement level, and really catering it to their community. Both of the programs I mentioned today set to approach one's experience with curiosity, openness, and acceptance. Mindfulness in a school setting also works to recenter students and teachers to reduce stress within the classroom. I was lucky enough to get in contact with 3 female middle school teachers and 1 community support worker to get their take on mindfulness in schools. All of them have a very different background and approaches to teaching when it comes to mindfulness. This really came through the interviews. All of the teachers agreed that mindfulness helps themselves to recenter and to be aware of their own mental state when teaching. From these interviews, some of the things I really took away was that clearly teaching is a very rewarding and amazing job. But at times it can be stressful and difficult. Mindfulness has helped all these teachers to refocus and bring them back down in those difficult times. Also, while they all agreed that mindfulness is important, it's not part of the curriculum, making it hard for teachers to officially incorporate mindfulness in their daily practices. One last part that really stuck with me is how much we need to focus on mindfulness today so that we won't have to in the future. If we can create mindfulness habits within our children and youth today, there won't be as much of a need for mindfulness education because it would already be instilled in their living. I'm doing a lot of talking, and I'm talking about mindfulness, so I thought it would be important to add a little mindfulness exercise in here. You'll be introduced to Matthias Barker. He is a psychotherapist from Spokane, Washington, and he does this little mindfulness exercise in his video. I thought you guys would enjoy.
Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth and loosen up that jaw. And then focus on your eyebrows. Let all the tension drain from every muscle around your eye. And let your face totally relax. Now I want you to take a breath with me, but we're going to do something a little different. I want you to imagine a color to assign to the idea of hope. And then I want you to imagine a color assigned to the idea of fear. And what I want you to do is breathe in through the nose and breathe in hope. Breathe out fear. And imagine that color just coming in. Breathe in hope. And breathe out fear. One more.
Now for the fun part, my resource. I've created a mindfulness website called My Mindfulness, as you can see right here. This website is meant to be a hub of resources for teachers, parents, and students to just find a safe place to learn about mindfulness. On the website, there'll be access to program links, blog posts, and mindfulness exercises just like the one you just did. My goal in creating My Mindfulness is to have a one-stop shop for all things mindfulness. I wanted to create a non-judgmental community of atmosphere where people could come and just learn about mindfulness. From my interviews, I felt that one thing that was really lacking in mindfulness was access to resources. And while it's not in the curriculum right now, teachers are struggling to find easy and effective ways to incorporate mindfulness in their classrooms. My Mindfulness strives to make this easier and make it accessible. My goal with this would be to have weekly posts that teachers could share with their class. Each post would have a new exercise, a worksheet, a gratitude prompt, their affirmations, something that would remind them to incorporate mindfulness. So I'm going to take you through My Mindfulness really quickly, and this is the mobile version. So quickly we're going to the About page, and I just have a definition of mindfulness, what my mindfulness is, cute little video, and kind of my reasoning for creating this. It helps everyone, what's missing in the curriculum, kind of explains all of that stuff. Go back to the top, we're going to research now. You'll find my blog posts where I've done all my research, my interviews, some special quotes, stuff like that there. Next is programs and links. I may attach a little Spotify playlist as well as the Mind Up program link and the PBIS program link that I talked about before as well. Going back up, going to mindfulness journals. I attached 3 PDFs. These are free journals that you can click on. This is one of my favorites, the 7-day journal. And you can hand these out to your kids or do it yourself as well. And here I added why mindfulness journaling, why it's so important, and the sources below. I also wanted to add in my website here, if you go to the how-to, I've added a bunch of videos for kids and adults, just some mindfulness exercises, some explanation videos, and a cute little story time too. So these are all amazing videos you could share with your class or just watch yourself. I really enjoyed them. This is my homepage as well, where you can have access to all the blog posts, a little bio of me, little mindfulness quote. Overall, I just want this to be a hub of resources, like a community, just like a one place where teachers, parents, and even students, if they're interested, can come and learn about mindfulness and watch videos. My idea would be that I would be updating the website like every week, having new resources, new videos, new mindfulness ideas to try out every week. Here's one of my blog posts as well, and that's more information. Quick navigation tools. I just wanted to show this 3 little lines here is how you're going to navigate the whole website. So you click on those 3 little lines, and that's how you can see and access all my pages, all the blog posts, all the research, as well as all of my resources that I've been posting. Right here, this is just the mobile version you're looking at. So if you were on your phone, this is what you would see, but it's exactly the same on a desktop version as well. Just look for those 3 little dots there and you will find all my pages. Take a second, because we're almost at the end of the 10-part mindfulness series. I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Julie Smith. She is a psychologist, and she's going to run you through another mindfulness exercise.
Take this one moment to be still. Look around you. Notice one thing that you can see and one thing that you can hear. And now notice one thing that you can touch or taste. And allow your senses to ground you in the here and now, this moment.
I hope you enjoyed that exercise with Dr. Julie. This is part 10 of the 10-part series. Have I convinced you yet? Are you going to try out my mindfulness? Are you going to try incorporating it into your life? I really hope you enjoyed practicing mindfulness with me. And I just wanted to say that if you didn't like those exercises we tried today, there are so many ways to practice mindfulness, and you can find them on my website. But there are really so many different ways you can practice mindfulness, including meditation and journaling and just sitting with your thoughts. It's just about being aware of your emotional and physical state. Mindfulness is really just about slowing down and really reflecting on where you are mentally, physically, and even spiritually. Now more than ever, times are really rough, and everything is uncertain, especially for our little ones who are experiencing their childhood behind a computer screen. Life can get really overwhelming, so it's important that we're not only taking care of ourselves and our mental health, but that we are teaching our children how to take care of their own mental health as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at my mindfulness.